Well, 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 look who it is. Look who it is. Let's see, do we got sound on this lovely day? I think we do. We do. We have sound on this lovely day. All right, everybody, how we doing? And I want some answers. I don't care how many people's here. I don't care how many aren't. I want some answers on how we are doing today. I've been gone a minute, and I apologize for that. It's been an interesting past couple weeks in the time that I have been on hiatus just for a moment. And man, look at this. Do you see this right here? Do you see that guy? That's John Gleason. That's the man. This dude. Look at that mugshot. What a mugshot. See, I wanted to say just what a mug, but that sounds too mean. Like to call someone's face a mug. Like you go ugly mug, but no, he's I feel like, I mean, imagine you're like, does anybody actually have a good mug shot? It's literally called a mug shot. Maybe that's literally where it comes from when you call a mug. Yeah, that would actually make sense. Did we just discover that together? But yeah, this man I was talking about on the last time I was here, the last stream, which I believe was 2 Fridays ago. I thought that I might be able to be back this Friday for to stream this Friday, but I ended up needing to wait till today. Today's when I'm back, because I just got a lot I've been dealing with, and I owe you guys a bit of an explanation on some things, and so that is why today's stream is titled a bit differently. But also I'm going to be trying out just titling the streams simply. I feel like it might just help better, because it's redundant me just continually explaining that, oh, in the title, here's what it is, here's this episode. It's just a bunch of blank words, and really it's not a good way of getting anyone to watch. I don't think. We're just trying stuff, everything's a trial. Many trials, many errors. There's no other way. Look, oh my god, I didn't even notice. There's another thing here about, literally, Chris Hansen's right here. That's Chris Hansen. Dateline NBC. I read this a couple days ago and I didn't even see this. Why is this in the Grand Blank View? I guess they're just doing a piece on Chris Hansen, but look at that. John Gleason is more high profile than Chris Hansen. He's got the front page. I had lunch with this dude, man. And we'll get into this. We'll get into see there's a little more detail in here. I'll read the whole thing in a bit. We got a lot of notes for this day's stream today. I'm gonna see if I can get through them all, because I really just got a lot of stuff I just kind of need to run through with you guys in some ways. All right, here we go. So, you might be asking, why did you title this video Colton Syndrome? That seems a bit bizarre. Well, aren't things a bit bizarre? Yes. Well, the reason is because I happen to just be, I have to tell you guys what's up. I'm dealing with something, and that's the thing, is there's no right now at this moment, don't really have a medical conclusion to what it is that I actually have going on. I could give you guys I'm not going to. That's not what this. I don't want this. I haven't really been talking about it that much in specific because I don't want to. But the truth is that this thing that's just going on with me is it's progressing, and different stuff is happening. I could give you guys probably over 6D or so symptoms of just things that are going on with me and have been going on. Some things as of late, some things my whole life, some things just right now, like literally just new stuff every day, and some things are like totally, non non-threatening seeming, just like mundane things that are different. And then some things that are going on are just some of the most scariest stuff you could. Just a lot of stuff going on. And, oh my god. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Well, I'm not. Okay, this is literally. I did. I still haven't cut it off. You ever. You know, like when you'd go to like Rollhaven or something. I guess if people watching aren't from Grand Blanc, Michigan, they might not know what Rollhaven is. But there's, skating rinks and stuff. There's places where you have an armband put on you. And, as a kid, I'd always just leave it on and, like, shower with the armband for, like, a week or something. Well, this is the armband I just, there was a day last week where I went into the hospital. And, I don't need to go into it super much. I'm not here to go into the details. I mean, I'll go into some. Like, I was thinking, let me give you some, like, things that aren't so, TMI or unbearably weird and semi-heavy. But, like, okay, I'm not gonna take my socks off. Don't you get excited now? But, like, my feet. It's a weird thing is happening. I have like stuff is like protruding on my feet, like not how it has been. Like, you see this bump right here? Like, this didn't used to exist. There's a bump right here, and that's always been there. I always have this big bump on both my feet, But now, just as of late, I have a whole second one that like protrudes out. You can't really tell under the sock, but I'm not going to take my sock off because that'd be a little too much. But not only does it look like my foot's just like this weird American Werewolf in London scenario, like the toes are now a little more bulbous and like, it's weird. Got a bunch of hot flashes in a bunch of different places. Got a bunch of numbing flashes and crazy things. Right now, the things that it's kind of semi looking towards, but no one's been able to give me any full diagnosis yet, even though this has been looked at since I'm been looking at this disorder of whatever it is since like last fall. They found cysts on like every vertebrae of my spine, and that's kind of what triggered this whole thing. I'm going to see. I'm trying right now to see an autoimmune specialist, because I don't know. Right now it's like question mark lupus, question mark rheumatoid arthritis, question mark MS, and I have no idea. I have no idea what's happening right now. The only real diagnosis I got is marfanoid habitus, which sounds like I'm an alien. Marfanoid. I kind of like it. But it's like there's something called Marfan syndrome, which is what they thought I might have had. They were hoping maybe that could explain away, how giant I am and everything going on with me. Marfan syndrome, it's like, that's the thing, it's all this stuff, Marfan syndrome, it's a genetic disorder, and it affects the connective tissue. I have some of the symptoms, but I don't have all of them. Like, I don't have really long fingers. I don't have really stretchy skin. That's another thing about it that's like identifiable. But I got the gene test for it, and there's an identifiable gene you can look to give you Marfan to say you have Marfan syndrome. That's what our diagnosis is. But I don't have it. So at the moment they're like Marfanoid habitus, which means Marfan-like. And it's like, see all these labels. I have respect and love for the health community at its core of like, I understand, like literally it's people wanting to help people. So I'm not about to rail against the the drive of wanting to help people. But, you know, there was a lot of things I could complain about. See, I could spend this whole I really could spend this whole stream just talking to you about the real, just frustrating time it's been dealing with the U.S. healthcare system. You know, something that I don't need to give a horror story about because there's already been 1,000 of them, and I can't even, you know, it's just frustrating. You know, it's so understaffed, and it's not anyone's fault but nobody's. That's the thing. It's like, it's this just whole thing. Like, we need more doctors and nurses so badly, so desperately. We need more of them. But you know how you become a doctor or nurse? You go and get a degree. And you know how you do that? There's 3 options for you to become a nurse or a doctor. A, you are already just super wealthy. So, problem solved. Be a doctor, and there you go. B, you make the choice to just go massively, unbelievably, ungodly into debt. You know? Not even going to school to be a doctor puts you in mountains of debt. But going to be a doctor, it's like... So there's your option 2, is I just subject myself to torment for the rest of my life and distress that I feel like I may never be able to pay back. That's option 2. No, I'm not. I'm just giving the options. I'm not dismantling or disparaging any of them. It's what it is. It's what we got. It's not like... It's what we got right now. Third option is you happen to be like a genius, and it's not as costly, and scholarships and such, because it's you have some inherent smarts. Those are 3 options. There's no more options than that if you want to be a doctor. If you're not given, that 4.0 or higher brain, and you're not given wealth, fortune, which is by nature fortunate. That's where the word comes from, is you are fortunate to have the fortune, the wealth. It's not something that you can inherently on your own and just grab out of the wind. It has to be worked on by a whole amalgamation of people and forces to get someone a giant fortune. It's very fortunate, There is no other option. If you are not as fortunate as others, you can't be a doctor. Unless you, want to go massively into debt. That's it. So really understaffed. So I'm not really here to, like, my qualms and frustrations, while I could really talk about them specifically, it's not useful because the same frustrations that the healthcare system has been giving me lately is the same frustrations it gives everybody. It's not, I'm not unique in that front. But yeah, so, it's like all these, like, there might be a time coming up at some point where, I understand my situation better, maybe. There might be a time coming up where, I have a better idea of what's going on with me. But at the same time, we just have these words. All we have are these words and these labels to make us feel better, and that's the point. It's not like why is it called Marfan syndrome? Because there's a guy once named Marfan, and he had it. Like, that's why. We can observe and see some connections and stuff, and in fact, we can observe this world so acutely and amazingly that look at all that we've made. Look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff. Look at all of our, proof of work that we have learned a lot. We know shit, don't we? But we don't know why. There's a lot of whys that we don't know. In fact, very few that we really have much an idea on. We update it every time. We keep updating our, our language. Like, the only reason I technically don't, have Asperger's, I'm pretty sure, is because around the time I'm growing up is basically they're like, well, we don't really, they're not, people are saying Asperger's isn't really even a thing anymore. It's more this broad spectrum, and like if I was born 10 years earlier, I would have gotten the diagnosis. But this is the thing, there is such a, I understand the purpose for so much of this, you know, system we have. I really do. But anyway, I don't even really. It's just that's the thing. So Colton syndrome. I'm not actually. Here's the catch. All right, I titled it this thing, but I'm actually. While yes, I'm telling you I got all this stuff. I don't know what I have. I have no idea what the hell is going on with my health. And it'll be all right. It'll be all right because I'll you know. This is the life we got. You know. Every minute counts. But the Colton syndrome. I'm titling this because I actually don't want to focus so much on what's going on with me. I could tell you a bunch of crazy more symptoms. I could tell you how my hearing has gotten really weirdly sensitive, and I hear frequencies in movies and songs and stuff that like just like it's just like a knife, like a thin needle just going into my cranium, and it'll be on something even that like I've seen before or I've heard before. Like in a movie, there'll be like a scene, and there'll be like some like radio on, or like a TV in the background of the scene, and there'll be some frequency, and it'll just be like I feel like I'm like a chihuahua, and I have to just turn it off or turn it down a lot because I'm like I literally cannot stand it. I can't like, I don't know. Some of my senses are doing just interesting things. But that isn't what Colton syndrome is in this context of how I'm telling it. Because Colton syndrome isn't a physical, per se, thing altogether. Colton syndrome is a state of mind. You see, Colton syndrome is it's a state of being and understanding. And I have just some theses-ish, you know, stuff. Oh, you know, all right. Let's get on to the next note, and I'll wrap around back to that. Okay. Looky here, actually, I need some help right now. I'm gonna need somebody to respond for a minute, and I figured out something super simple. You know, like looking back from this, it'll be so like dumb that I didn't do it earlier, or figure it out earlier. But yeah, okay. I have a clip. I have a clip that I want to show you guys. And it's the craziest clip like you could have for politics. Like this clip I'm about to show you is what should be on every single screen on cable news, and it won't be, of course. It won't be on corporate-run authoritative news, as you know the algorithms like to portray. But I have this clip here. It's a clip from a Republican senator, Mr. One Mo Brooks, a man who I'm sure. I am supremely sure I have many disagreements with, probably. Some, you know, some disagreements on issues, some disagreements on, you know, culture and all sorts of stuff. But in all our differences, no matter how different we may be, doesn't mean we aren't or can't be genuine and authentic. You see, that's the one thing we have in common, is that we're all different. All of us are like not the same, and yet at the same time, all of us share some of the same things. We are all different. That really is the one thing we have in common. But this man proved himself a little bit with this clip. He doesn't have clean hands completely, and what he's about to be talking about is stuff that he's partaked in, as many of these, you know, Congress people have, and senators. So here's the thing. You know the deal, kind of. We all know the deal. We all know that this is corrupt and that our political duopoly is run by special interests and money. And we've known this for a long time. You're about to learn the how exactly in one aspect of it, in our committee system. And it sounds, there's a thing, all these boring, don't you worry about it. Don't listen to these boring words. Just go on with your life. And don't ignore this crazy information that is just out there right now, you know. Don't pay attention to this committee stuff. You see, the Senate and the House, you know, they got these old committees like Ways and Means and what's another one? Ways and Means and you know, there's like literally so many. But Ways and Means is like probably one of the most important ones, and that's I'll think of the budget committee. You're right, or the budget like Bernie is, you know, the chairman of the budget committee. There's tons of committees on like all this different stuff, and it's defined which, you know, houses, which legislatures really deal with them, which are required to oversee what aspects of such governmental dealings and acquisitions and decisions. And basically these committees are what form the legislation that eventually is voted on. They decide and go back and forth about all the little minutia. It's how legislating happens. It is the meat of the bones. It is the meat on the bones. It is the meat of the whole thing. Is these committees, at least in the legislative process, that is. This and so this guy's about to just expose for you how it really works. And I'm just gonna let him say the rest. And I want to okay, so here, see, looky. Haha, yes, look it, we got the like reaction thing. Okay, so this is a video. I'm gonna just do something really quick. Okay, tell me, is this full screen for everybody? Because I can't see it, but I'm assuming that's the case. And like it's full screen on the corner, you know? Like, I'm just gonna wait to hear a response from somebody. Because I just really wanna, oh look, you can even see. Oh, whoa. Look at all this craziness. Yeah, no, that I would have to, yes. Yeah, okay. Alright. Let's just watch this thing. I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust it. Wait! Oh wait, I can oh, I can check it. Okay, actually here we go. Here's a skill right now. You're gonna watch it look, here we go. Okay. So boom. Okay, hold it for a second. Okay, and then let me watch. Yes! Okay, we got it. Proof. There's proof in the pudding right there. I just checked back. Beautiful. Let's watch this. This stuff is on a lovely channel called Breaking Point, so all you guys should have checked out. It's a great bridge of the real right and the real left, not the elected right and the elected left, which don't represent any people who actually consider themselves in those camps. All right, Mo, let's see what you got.
Sure that y'all are very much concerned about why our Congress is so unresponsive to the regular needs of American citizens. Why some of these policies that come out are so bizarre, so unfair, so skewered against regular Jane and Joe citizens. The reason is simple. Special interest groups run Washington. And I don't mean that metaphorically, I mean literally. Now, here is how it happens. In the House of Representatives, I'll use that as an example because that's where I work. If you want to be chairman of a major committee, you have to purchase it. And the purchase price for a major committee, say like Ways and Means, minimum bid is $1 million. I'm talking literally here. I'm not talking metaphorically, okay? We have committees broken down by A group, B group, and C group. C are the cheapest, B are the most expensive, are middling, A is the most expensive. It's the most expensive because those are the committees that the special interest groups care the most about. So where does a congressman come up with $1 million to be chairman of one of these A committees? You can't get it from Joe and Jane Citizen because Joe and Jane Citizen back home, they're not going to be contributing that kind of money. They don't have it. They need that money for their own families, okay? So let me finish. And so you have to get it from the special interest groups. And with the special interest groups, there is a quid pro quo. If you don't do what they tell you to do, they won't give you the money that finances your chairmanship. I had one guy who ran for chairman of the NRCC, which is where the Republicans pay their money for these committee assignments and chairmanships, just as the Democrats pay theirs to the DCCC. And this guy who wanted to be chair of the NRCC actually had a brochure. And that brochure had price listings written on it. And his argument for getting elected was, elect me, I will charge you less.
Okay, so you understand? I'm just going to quick pause it for 1 second right there. What he's specifically talking about right there is that the DCCC and the Republicans, it's like, this is actually at the, like, these are elections that we get to see, that we get to take part in. These are the elections of the actual parties and leadership for, that's the thing. You'd think Washington should run Washington, but no, Washington is ran by people who are not elected. And even at these things, it's literally, he's talking about this buying of chairmanship. And literally, you have to purchase committees. Like, literally speaking. And he's talking about the openness of what, like, is actually said behind these closed doors. And how this one guy running at one of these conventions, or it's not the DNC, it's the, you know what I mean. He's literally just saying, hey, you got a brochure, you got to print it off just like this stuff, just for you, corrupt bastards here. Like, hey, like, if you do it, I'll charge you guys less on the committee for the seats, you know? That's what our politics really is about every single day. That's what important decisions are being made by adults in the room. So-called adults in the room.
Now you understand how the public policy debate is corrupted. When to be in a position of power, you have to do what the special interest groups require, which undermines the public policy debate. The money now is triumph. And I'll give you a second example. So it's not Mo Brooks talking, but there's no evidence to back this up. Congressman Thomas Massey, who, by the way, endorsed me yesterday afternoon. I should add that Rand Paul has also endorsed me from Kentucky. He had a lobbyist come up to him, and the lobbyist said, look, I will pay your $500,000 to be on Ways and Means if you will sponsor this patent bill. Thomas is brilliant. He has patents, MIT grad. And Thomas said, okay, I'll look at it. And he looked at it and said, no, this hurts the small and good. The people with the power and the money are going to use that power and money to steal the patent rights from the person who actually had the idea, who should be reaping the rewards of that idea. And so Thomas went back to the lobby and said, no, I'm not going to do it. The lobby said, okay, I'm not going to pay that $500,000. Thomas Massey got that published on the front page of USA Today, that story. And I saw it, and I'm going, finally, somebody else in the House of Representatives who is honorable, who is ethical, and sees the corruption associated with this process. And I went to Thomas and said, thank you for doing that. And Thomas responded, well, I made one big mistake. Looked good to me. Said, well, I talked about it in terms of buying committee assignments. when really it's a rental agreement. You have to pay it every 2 years. Now, the national media knows about this. Both political parties do it, so neither party rises to the occasion and makes this a major public policy issue that would increase exposure about what's getting done. But if you want to know why our government is not properly facing the challenges that are in front of the United States of America, that more than anything else is the reason.
Wow. Wow is right, Sagar. Alrighty. Appreciate y'all indulging me in that one. Oh, I didn't even seen all these comments here. You're so sweet. I appreciate it, guys. Y'all are the best. All right, you know what? Let me just. Why not? So, that's what's going down in DC, and so just to summarize it, in case anyone kind of didn't get the whole picture, like. It's exactly like what all of us, basically have thought and think, but just like literally all the communities aren't separated by they're separated by importance of money, of what communities have the most power over businesses. And these lobbyists control our government, non-elected officials. Not the elected ones, not the representatives. Unelected lobbyists and partners of the American oligarchy are what run our institutions. Literally speaking. Thank you, Mo Brooks. Whether or not you intended for that video to be sent around and get recorded, it seems like you said it under the pretenses thinking it wouldn't be. Regardless, your words of honesty in that moment, like, they matter so much. Like, we're heading there, guys. All we need is a spark to really set it off. But everything is primed right now for us to actually abolish financial oppression, because that is what we are truly, is oppressed by the financial overlords of our dystopia. It's not an exaggeration. That's the truth right there. I said this a while ago, but you can't legislate. The only things you can legislate are freedoms. That's what you're doing when you go there. You legislate freedoms. You say, here's something you are free to do. Here's something you're not free to do. And when it gets mucky, it gets a little mucky. Right now, it's the muckiest it's been. And we're not really that free. We're not really free to move up in society at all. Because a bunch of hypocrites who believe in a free market. Do you hear that? When I walk down the stairs, there's just like bones that just like crack. That's not a joke. I just got stuff cracking a lacking all the time. But yeah. We're oppressed. We are like a economic system and a half away from slavery. And I mean behind us. Like, we just left slavery, pretty much. Like, in terms of, like, actually, we haven't evolved that much in how we to us, you can only own somebody in the way of upfront. Like, it's a thing. Back then, in the days of slavery, it was honest exploitation. It was like, no, this is how it is. The white man is triumph, and we, I own an entire person. It's just craziness. But it was honest, truly, hey, this is what it is. Here's the game, and And then we outlawed that because why? Because we took away a freedom. We decided, and these are in Lincoln's words at one point, when we abolished slavery, involuntary servitude, except in prison, because why not just, make prisoners slaves? That's fine. Like, we still just allow that. But we abolished the freedom to oppress somebody, or a freedom of oppression. We said, hey, you can't oppress somebody in this way where you literally own an entire person, commodify a human being, literally speaking in the most upfront, honest way. You can't do that. Even though we are free here in America, and freedom, and in the world we want to be free, you shouldn't be free to do that. There are a lot of things you shouldn't be free to do, like murder. Like a whole bunch of things. When you go up to the traffic light, you are not free to drive anywhere you want. You have to stop and follow these intricate little rules and regulations. Why? Because it's for the better safety of the entire populace. Some regulations and legislations to take away our freedoms and give new ones are really not in the benefit of the populace at all, and are just benefiting a few people in a limousine. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can get to my other notes. All right. So, with all that being said, here we go. You know what? All right, perfect transition, actually. Beautiful. I thought I wasn't doing that hot, but we're hotter than a friggin' Pompeo Madradeo on Mustafar. Mike Pompeo. We'll get to this in just a moment. See, all the stuff I just described, that is more Colton syndrome than anything that I could physically have. There is central to me more than any my physical things is what I believe. Even though I don't know, we aren't always what we are, so much more than our physicalness, our appearances. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter, right? I don't know. I'm 6'7", but I don't. I've always been like this tall, which now having this disorder makes some kind of sense, I guess. But I don't know. A lot of people I've met who become tall after a while, have a big growth spurt. I don't know. They really own it, and it's tall person. I'm just I just feel like a guy. I don't really feel like a tall guy. I just feel like a dude, like a bruh, And so, Colton syndrome really isn't any of this physical stuff going on. It's not the feet thing. It's not the look, I'm actually, you can see kind of I'm having this sort of stuff. This is why there's a part of it. There's a chance it might be lupus, because there's this kind of butterfly looking thing that some people have. This is right now, it's moderately, it's been worse than this before, but I have a bit of it's happening right now. It's just red, right there, Anyway, steel biflex symbol. I don't know what that is, but that's the kindest thing I've ever heard. I'm so excited. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah. Here's how to tell if you have Colton syndrome. If you have Colton syndrome, it means you have an understanding, a recognition of one core idea. And it is in contrast to how this idea is normally thought about. And that idea is an idea of something we all share in common. It's a thing that you'll hear, I've heard, I guess, some people, say. It's a thing people say, and it's that, like when someone's like, trying to like list off like, accomplishments or things, or like, hey, like, reasons for, like something they're like, well, at the very least, like if there's, which, most of us don't have, most of us aren't Olympic medalists, so, but you're like, hey, I was the fastest sperm. Stick with me, okay? That's something that's like, we all, can relate to, right? Is that you're like, well, we were the fastest sperm, Hey, I got here. I beat all the other ones, That's all of us made it. All of us are the fastest sperm. No, it's not true, actually. It's not true, like, literally speaking. That's not true. We were not the fastest sperm. I was not the fastest sperm, okay? Like, that phrase implies intention, and I think it's like, okay, just I know this is not like probably where you thought this conversation was gonna go, okay, but just bear with me, okay? So first of all, think about that what you are is this, just your sperm. That's you somehow, but it's not. You're just a cell with some DNA in there that isn't formed yet, isn't anything. You're just sloshing around, whatever, like, no one sperm has a hold on the whole, like, fastest. Oh, I was the fastest. Oh, well, you know what? If you're the fastest, but then it came out and there was nothing there, it was just a useless beat off. Or, oh, no, you did it, and the lady, she's wearing a diaphragm. Unfortunately, you're fastest, but it didn't go through, or you're wearing a condom, or oh, you know what? You're the fastest sperm, but the egg didn't work, or you didn't work, or maybe, so you know what? It's just not actually true. Like, the timing of, there's so, if you have Colton syndrome, you recognize the fact that you are not the fastest sperm. You were and are the luckiest sperm. By pure chance we are here, not by decision, not by asking. No one chose to be the luckiest sperm that happened to come out and get to the egg first, and that egg happened to mix well, and nothing went wrong, and all these miracles happen. All these miraculous events happen. It's very fortunate. Like every part of our life, there's so much fortune and chance involved. That is the recognition. Because here's the thing, you also could see it equally as the unluckiest sperm. I'm sure that's how it feels actually quite a lot. But it is the same as lucky. It's fortune. And that is the thing. We all... I saw a recent clip, and this is just a way to focus on the idea. But like I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger say that he doesn't believe in the self-made man. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the guy who is the I'll be back. I want you to take me to Sarkana. The guy, man, the Austrian, the Governator, bro. He acknowledges, like, you cannot, it's a myth. The self-made man is a myth, he says. Because it's true. It is true. You can't, we are in life, we are made by the people around us and the situations we are thrown into. And that's the thing, despite that. That's what's so amazing, is that despite all the chaos of what's around us, there is parts of us that are inherent. things about us that are unique just to us, that shine through. And we do become our own people. But we become our own people in this world of chance and non-choice, non-real freedom in terms of how we really get here. It's more, it's just beautiful is what it is. It's crazy. To me, it's lucky. I am the luckiest sperm, even though it might be easier to say unlucky sometimes. I'm fortunate and I'm privileged with so much. So, that's Colton syndrome. Let's... And you see, like, all these people, man, in Congress, all these oil barons that run our society, like, literally, that's who does it. They're not actively earning their increased mega wealth. In fact, they haven't been earning it since 1971. A free market doesn't have money printed into it. I don't even really care that much about money. I'm not even like, the free market. I'm not even that big a guy about it. But like, if you actually believe in a free market, then why have we been just pumping money, extra money, printed money into our society? Let's think, society. We haven't really been printed into our society. We have not. We've been printing it. And since the year we've been printing it, wealth has skyrocketed. And since that year, since we started printing money, like more, do some research and I'll, I can't explain the entire gold standard changing thing up to then. And after, it's like a whole thing. Wages have just stagnated. All of the money. Every dollar of printed money since 1971 that we decided to just adding money to our economy to try and combat this stuff, it wasn't to combat it. It is what's causing the issue. Because it all went to the top. We have none of it. We have seen none of it. We have not seen a dollar of that. Because literally, value, man, it's like money is supposed to be a tool to help you get to the thing that you think is valuable. What people think is worthwhile and valuable in this world is very differing. Some people want a lot of things. Some people want nothing and just want to live their life. And money is supposed to be a way that you can exchange something to get the thing, the experience, the whatever that is actually valuable to you. But we've screwed it all up, and we're to a point where we actually think that money is the valuable thing. It isn't. It's not. It's a tool to measure wealth. The thermometer measuring the temperature isn't the temperature. It's not the whole ecosystem that's beaming the sun and the heat. And that's the temperature is that. The thermometer measuring the temperature is not the value there. Just like the money that's supposed to track wealth, track value. Wealth is an idea. Wealth is a feeling. Do you feel wealthy or do you feel poor? Well, when so many people give all this money and have little money, yeah, you tend to feel really poor. And I could keep going on. If you feel this way, you have Colton syndrome. And so, with that, we're going to just seamlessly transition into the arresting of John Gleason, former county clerk, former state senator and state representative, and maybe county commissioner to throw in there, I think, maybe. Could be wrong. Clerk arrested, charged with intimidating employee in his office by Barry Gold. Sorry, not Barry Gordy. Flint. Genesee County Clerk John Gleason was arrested Friday and charged with allegedly intimidating members of his staff to alter documents pertaining to a 2019 incident where he was accused of performing a marriage outside his jurisdiction. A complaint was authorized April 7th against Gleason, 68, for alleged conduct between December 2019 to March 2022, and 2 charges were brought against him. Gleason is charged with 1 count of bribing / intimidating / interfering, a 4 felony and / or $5,000, nice nice grammar here. 5,000, and a second count of willful neglect of duty, a misdemeanor punishable by a year in jail and or $1,000 fine. He was arrested Friday in his office at the Genesee County Courthouse and was lodged in the Genesee County Jail. A judge set a personal recognizance. Yeah. The judge set a personal recognizance bond for Gleason at a hearing Friday afternoon. The case is being brought by Mark Reen, special prosecutor from Tuscola County, who has been investigating the charges against Gleason for more than 2 years. The charges stem back to an incident December 24th, 2019, at Memorial Healthcare in Owasso, where Gleason performed a marriage, which is outside his jurisdiction. And then it's on page 4 here. Sorry, just don't mind. Arrested. The couple wanted to be married just before giving birth to their child, according to the reports. The couple wanted to be married just before giving birth to their child, according to reports. The Shiawassee County Clerk said she gave verbal consent for the wedding, but no written permission or official marriage license was issued. Michigan's law says Gleason could be guilty of a misdemeanor if he did not receive the written permission. Gleason reportedly said he asked officials in Shiawassee County to validate the marriage about a month later. When they refused, he allegedly asked his own staff to validate the wedding and backdate the forms. Employees in the clerk's office at that time reported to Genesee County Human Resources they were intimidated by Gleason to backdate the paperwork to make it valid. Genesee County Prosecutor David Layton recused himself to avoid any kind of conflict of interest involving Gleason and turned the case over to Reen from Tuscola County. They strike me as individuals who simply wanted to come to work, serve the public, and do a good job, said Reen. And unfortunately, they encountered the behavior that has resulted in our coming together today to address what has happened. Reen said throughout his investigation, people have come forward with more information about Gleason and other potential issues, but he did not elaborate. The judge in the case set May 19th for a probable cause hearing, followed by a preliminary exam May 25th. There's a lot of missing ons and ofs, I feel like. Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson said the arrest of Gleason brings up questions about the upcoming May 3rd election, especially since Deputy Clerk Kathy Funk is also facing criminal charges in an unrelated matter. With both. See, it's not fun. It's not good to laugh at people's misfortune. See? See, you say misfortune, right, when you say that. At the same time, these are these people's choices. And still, I don't feel good about anybody, going to jail, especially for, misdemeanors. It's oh, God. Sue me for not, sue me for libel. Sue me for slander. Sue me for defamation. Sue me for reading the article just as it's read. And giving my hot takes and opinions in a free country with freedom of speech ? Deputy Kathy Funk, who is also facing criminal charges in an unrelated matter. With both clerk and deputy clerk charged in separate instances, it begs the question, what do we do to maintain the integrity of the system, says Swanson. He said he had spoken with Dominique Clemens, chairman of the Genesee County Board of Commissioners, and was assured a special meeting of the commission would be called to address the future of elections in the county during the legal issues involving the clerk and his deputy. Gleason has served as county clerk and register of deeds since 2013. Previously, he served in the Michigan Senate from 2009 through 2012 and in the State House from 2003 to 2006. Before his election to the legislature, he served on the Genesee County Board of Commissioners. I was right. Let's go. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah. We could... City point. City, we could read the Chris Swanson thing. Chris Swanson, Chris Hansen. I was thinking of Joe Swanson. But yeah, we got 5 minutes left. I read that. I don't know. What do you guys think, huh? What do you? Oh, I see. That would help me then. Thank you. I appreciate that actually. Yeah. So our local man, County Clerk John Gleason, is in jail right now for. Let's think. Let's say that this is all true. Let's assume that everybody in this is a good faith actor. And that the situation, I mean, it seems to, like, it makes more sense there. It's like, all these charges that I saw in the thing, it makes sense. It's all, these people, he did a marriage without a license, which is not legal because marriage is so integral to our tax avoidance and tax exemption system. Understandably, so you guys, if you don't do a marriage license, it's all because of money. All this comes back to money, which is why it matters. Why we have to interfere with people who just want to marry, just want to be with the person they love. And this guy did it for them because they wanted to get married before the kid. Like, that makes sense. That's like a human thing. But so. Instead of wanting to face the legal consequences for that, because suddenly you're under investigation. That's the thing. Who would be investigating that? Like, why would you be investigating a dude over like a marriage license thing? Like, I mean, I guess it's a law. It's a thing, But aren't there bigger fish to fry? Like, where's Larry Nassar? At this time, where was the investigations on that guy when it counted? But poor old John Gleason helping people out to get married. I don't know. It makes sense. But man, he does not look. He looks none too happy, does he? That is like. That hurts. He looked a lot happier when I saw him, and had a 3-hour lunch with him. That's. I should go visit him in jail and come back and like give you guys the deets, do some investigative reporting, because it's. I don't want to be. That's the thing. I don't want to be that guy who says it's interesting and is like interesting, but it is interesting that such a low thing like that is going down, being focused on, being pursued by the Justice Department of our society, of our People's Republic. And yet, no one's going after the straight-up bribery and the straight-up quid pro quos going on in Washington right now, every day. And also, it's interesting, I want to look up and find information on why the deputy clerk was also arrested, because it's also interesting. I need to know the full story. I need to know the full story. This can't be another Bob Saget situation. Not going to let it be another Bob Saget situation. Nope. That's where I'm at. Because that's where we're at. It's where we're all at right now. Is this level of blatant corruption and evil running our lives. So, yeah. I'm back, though. You know what? I'm glad to be back here. And I have some... I have some more notes. I have some more notes that I didn't quite get to. Got through every important thing. Last thing I didn't say were the more lower agenda things of today, but probably get to them Friday. And I do have a kind of an announcement for the campaign that I would go into right now if I had some more time, but it's 6 o'clock here in the Midwest, so that means it's time to close down. And man, I appreciate you guys so much. Hashtag corruption kills. Hashtag honest politics. Hashtag fucking worse than Gotham, bro. I swear to God. Swear to me! Wait. Politics, everyone. Moral integrity. Give it up for moral integrity. I love you guys, sincerely. I love you so much. Thanks for sticking with me. Peace and love, y'all.